What do you think should have happened in Vegas to avoid Tupac from getting killed?
Okay, well, now that I'm Muslim, it's difficult. It's not allowed for me to say should have, would have, this would have happened if he would have done that because, everything is written for us. It was written that Pac died on that day. You know what I mean? But, if I can give some advice that I wish someone would have gave Pac, it would have been beneficial. But maybe we can give this advice so that someone won't make the same mistakes that might be in a similar situation like Pac. You know what I mean? That once you make it out of the hood, remember, most of the time we want to get out of the hood. Because why do we want to get out of the hood? Because we see everybody around us getting murdered, going to prison. We know this. We trying to get away from this. So when you get into a situation like you having a career and you're successful, the last thing you want to do is be involved in a confrontation, especially when you know the mentality that it's going to be some retribution, it's going to be some revenge. You know what I mean? I wish that Pac had some people around him mature enough to say, this is the star. This is the money maker. Let's keep everything negative away from him. Everything that's negative, he need to be the furthest away from it. But unfortunately, it was just a terrible situation. It wasn't nobody mature enough because I don't look at it as a brave thing. You know what I mean? I know Pac was doing it out of his loyal, but when I mean mature enough, I think a brave person is a mature person to say, you know what, Pac, let that go. You know what I mean? Not to say, you know what I mean? Even though Pac did it on his own, don't get me wrong, Pac did it on his own, but I think he needed someone to be brave and mature around him to say, Pac, don't do, because Pac was a firecracker. Everybody knew he was a firecracker. You know what I mean? Before he went to death row, Suge knew he was a firecracker. So he needed someone to tell him, like, I don't even think Pac knew how much of a bigger star he really was. I think that Pac still thought that he was still, like, Pac was the type of individual, if one of the outlaws, if somebody come home and say, I got into a fight around the corner, he would be the first one in the car driving around the corner after he just sold 60 million records. I don't think he realized what level he was at. You know what I mean? So he needed someone to tell him, like, look, man, you here, you on this level now. You made it. We know your character. When these people was attacking, when the two off-duty police was attacking this African American, man, Pac put his career on the line. He put his freedom on the line for what? To go stop a person from being oppressed. So we know how Pac get down. You know what I mean? So he needed somebody to say, look, man, you proved yourself already. Just do what you got to do, and that's it. But unfortunately, he didn't have that. You know what I mean?
Right, so that is true then. Even though Tupac, he was the top rapper, All Eyes on Me went #1 on Billboard. It went gold the first week. It sold like 5 or 6 million while he was alive. Even with all that, Tupac was still moving around like a regular person. I heard he used to go to the mall and drive around LA in a drop top with no security or anything, man.
He was really, man, he used to dip and run away from security. I think one of the ways that Pac dealt with celebrity and fame, because he used to call it success instead of success. He used to say the fame that comes from the entertainment is success. So I think one of the ways that he dealt with it is that I have to live normal as possible. You know what I mean? I had to just live normal as possible. I come from the ghetto. I survived this. So I think that's what he was trying to do.
And another thing, man, that I didn't understand, Suge Knight and the rest of MOB, them being from LA and them being familiar with gang culture in LA, why would they go out and party at Club 662 knowing that they just jumped on the crib?
I think maybe they probably didn't think it was going to happen in Vegas. You know what I mean? They probably were saying, okay, when we get back to Compton, it's going to be what it's going to be. But I think that probably took everybody, caught everybody off guard, that they probably didn't think that the retaliation was going to come that soon on a Vegas strip, you know what I mean, with all these lights and things like that. So I think it just caught everybody off guard. Everybody, no one would expect them to come back. They probably would have said, okay, when we go to LA, definitely something is going to happen. But I don't think no one expected it to happen that soon. Pac was loyal, you know what I mean? And like if they listen to the Speedy interview, they listen to other interview, the people that really know Pac, they know that Pac made these moves out of loyalty, not from gang activity. He didn't say, oh, that's a Crip, let me go jump on this Crip back. You know what I mean? Rumors was that, when that incident happened in the mall, when, Orlando Anderson tried to snatch the chain, the rumor was that Puffy was given a $10,000 bounty on that chain. You know what I mean? So when Pac was like, when Pac found out that was a dude who snatched a chain, Pac looking at it like, that's my beef now. You know what I mean? So he wasn't doing it because he wanted to be a blood, or, you know what I mean? He just was a loyal type of individual. That's all.